I guess so. Now we need to go into, a serious story, a big deal story that happened today. So it's hard to even talk about just because we are females, and right now females are so empowered to come forth and tell their stories, and I think that is amazing. But when you just
in Hollywood is changing.
It totally is. And so when you hear new stories, it's just upsetting as a woman, but I'm glad that they come out. So
Absolutely.
Her name's Leeann Tweeden, and she is a morning news anchor out here in Los Angeles. And today she wrote a piece for, I think it's KABC, yes, KABC, where she works, detailing an account that happened between her and Senator Al Franken back in 2006. And you see from this photo, it's just like disgusting to even look at, but she's asleep and he is fondling or acting like he's fondling her boobs, and it's just disgusting. As she describes it, back then in 2006, she used to go on all these tours because her dad used to be in the military, and also she was dating somebody who's now her husband, and he was deployed. So she used to do this all the time. Yes. And so, there's these photos that came out, her article, she details in, just how violated she felt and how disgusting and humiliating it was.
Right, embarrassed. She says, and Al issued a lengthy apology as well, detailing the scenario in a couple of different ways between the two of them. But, she says that there was a skit that was being rehearsed and he still crossed the line. He went and sort of forcibly kissed her. She says stuck his tongue down her throat, and she immediately pushed him away with both hands and was like, don't do that to me again, or I might not be so nice about it the next time.
Yeah.
And then she was reviewing photos from the trip later, and the photo that we just saw of him appearing to grope her came up in the photos, and she was like, how can anyone grab my breasts like this
she was
and
asleep,
think it's funny?
you guys.
Yeah.
She was sleeping and this happened. And he came out and he basically admitted his behavior and described how, at the time he thought it was just like a funny joke, kind of childish, but he realizes now that, how much he hurt her and how juvenile and stupid it was of him. And I think that's exactly what it was.
Absolutely.
Who does that? That's something that kids do in high school, you know what I mean? And it's so sad to see somebody who has so much power, in our government and everything. And he also has a scandal going on right now too. And I think just as a woman myself, there's been plenty of times where, people, friends of mine or something, have been asleep and people try to mess with them, whether it's just writing on your face or doing anything stupid. And it's just you guys, they're asleep. Leave them alone. Why are you trying to humiliate them? Just stop it.
Of course. And I can say I've had similar experiences where I've seen, especially being a woman, and when we were younger, especially seeing a lot of men do things to women while they're asleep that is definitely not appropriate. And I think that that's an interesting segment of our culture, that it's good that this photo came out and that Leeann Tweeden is talking about it, so that we can talk about how we're, perpetuating this type of behavior among men. And continuing to have this discussion about sexual harassment, not only in Hollywood, but in every corner of the world, is really important. So as much as it was painful for her, we're glad that she's talking about it. And I hope that it leads to, continued dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.